Welcome back, everyone, to another episode. We are here for another episode of everyone's favorite place to be on a Wednesday morning. Where else would you rather be on the internet on a Wednesday morning, Brandon? But right here at Practice, the show.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of everyone's favorite place to be on a Wednesday evening prime time, right here at Pitch Practice.
The show.
My name is Mark. I'm the guy behind the Mental Marketer and the private Facebook group Funnel Building 101, teaching content creators. I teach the newest art and science of funnel building to help content creators sell other people's stuff. What's up, Brandon?
What up? Brandon here with BKX Enterprises, Chief Business Strategist, and as you see down there, your digital plumber, helping you get those funnels hooked up to the intro webs properly so you don't have any leaky leads.
Leaky leads. Have you found any leaky leads this past week?
Yeah, all the time, everywhere. I looked at two businesses the other day, both roofers, one in Texas, one local here in Ohio, and yeah, Google wasn't optimized properly. The website wasn't set up to actually get much traffic, and the traffic it was getting, they were just again asking them, "Hey, ready for a quote?" When 99% of the population is just searching and researching at this point in time, unless it's an emergency where there is a roof leak or something like that. So, yep.
I think there's a lot of leaky funnels out there, yeah. There's a lot of leaky funnels. Just a few things out there. Give us a hashtag where you're watching from. I see you in the comments down there. Give us a hashtag where you're watching from. Hashtag live if you're watching on the live. Hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay. What's up, ClickFunnels family?
What up? What up? Yeah, and the biggest thing and the biggest leak in most people's funnels is just lack of follow-up. I got a new lead tonight for my Google Business Profile Guide. Wish I could say I knew where it came from, but I got to follow up with them. Sure, they're on my drip campaign, but I got to continue to follow up with them and see if I can help them with their business.
Absolutely. I think just the amount of time that it can take you to respond to a message can determine your conversion rate. When you can respond to a customer within the first 30 minutes, that is going to increase your conversions as opposed to even waiting an hour. By the time that hour has passed, your customer has actually gone on to the next option. And that's one thing that I discovered this week. And I have to admit, I'm guilty of it sometimes. I'm guilty of it sometimes, just not being right there. That instantaneously response. Sometimes it feels like it's not possible. Just want to throw a shout out there to a couple people in the comments watching. Shanna Lee, Elisa, what's up? And I think those are fans. I think they're here for our special guest, Brandon.
I would say so.
Yes, I think they are here for our special guest today. We do have a very special guest coming on the show today. So we're gonna, okay, hold on here. Let me double check the socials here to make sure that we are live. We are live. What's up? I just want to say hi to Tracy out there in the comments. Thanks for showing up today. And yes. So without further ado, our special guest today is she is a seasoned school-based occupational therapist with over 30 years of experience in handwriting and fine motor development. She's also the founder of LegiLiner, which it's a patented line of rolling stamps that are designed to make handwriting and math both effective and fun. And it was developed from her real life challenges of managing many students across multiple schools. And her practical time-saving stamps have become trusted resources from hundreds of thousands of occupational therapists, teachers, and parents nationwide. Now, through these products, her hands-on training and handwriting transformation system, she blends clinical insight with creativity to help kids build confidence and legibility one line at a time. And what I'm really excited about her is that she's going to be showing up on the TV show The Legacy Makers, which if you remember, that's the same show with Rudy Mauer that this is going to be on, and they're going to be highlighting her inspiring journey of how a simple idea born from a need has grown into a nationally recognized tool that's transforming handwriting instruction across the country. And she's going to share with us today some of her ups and downs of entrepreneurship, her commitment, and her secrets to success. Everyone, let's welcome to the show, Polly Benson.
Hello. Thanks for having me. I like the laser effect. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I can do this. It usually works. Yes.
Aw.
Yes.
Very good. Does it work for me?
You have to have a setting on. There's one. Yeah, there's one setting. We should have tested it beforehand.
That's okay.
Okay.
It's all right.
Welcome, Polly. Introduce yourself out there to everyone watching, because we're streaming on like 20 platforms right now.
Yeah. So I'm Polly Benson. I'm an occupational therapist, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I've got 3 kids. 2 are married, and one of them has 2 of my grandbabies. Nice. And then my youngest son is almost 22, and he goes to UGA. So I'm a big Buckeye fan. I'm from Ohio, and I invented the LegiLiner. So that's my story.
Oh, Ohio. That's the branding connection, huh?
Yep, we're from the same state.
Nice. So give us your story. How did you start in this field? How did you come to develop this product? And it seems like what I love about it is people tend to think that in order to be successful, you have to reinvent the wheel, or you have to make something that's completely complicated. But it seems that yours is a simple idea, but something that's needed by educators and, like you said, occupational therapists. Tell us about that journey.
Yeah. So, I was, when I was younger, grew up as like, babysitter, teacher, taught swim lessons, and I kind of always had a knack for helping people. And as I went into college, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, but I did find a little niche in the therapy world, and I did some volunteer hours, and I really enjoyed occupational therapy. And the way it's different from physical therapy is oftentimes the physical therapist is looking at the physical dysfunction and trying to help someone repair an injury, let's say. But with occupational therapy, we're looking at the occupation of a person. And so even though like the physical therapist works with people that have had strokes, so does the occupational therapist. And the way we approach it differently is they're doing like exercises for walking and for strengthening that weak side of their body. But the occupational therapist is working on bathing skills and dressing skills and cooking and standing in at the stove. And so my eventually started morphing into working more with kids. And so the kids' occupation is to be a student. And when you work in the schools, you're helping students with their skills for handwriting, reading, speech therapy, social, emotional, whatever it requires as a student. So the physical therapist in the school system is helping that student with accessing their environment. Is the desk the right height? Can they get in and out of doors? Can they get up and down steps? The occupational therapist is working more on their sometimes there's sensory skills. Sometimes there's different types of sensory sensations in the schools that interfere with their learning. And so from a therapist perspective, I was working in the schools with kids that had sensory problems or fine motor problems, but I had to push into older classrooms like fourth grade, fifth grade, because you're not allowed to always pull the kids and work in the little therapy room because that's not where they have to be functional. They have to be functional in their classroom. So I would push into a classroom and a student was working on handwriting, but in fourth grade, fifth grade, you don't have handwriting lines anymore. And so many of these kids had sloppy handwriting. And so, I'm trying to help them improve their handwriting from sometimes a physical perspective, but sometimes it's a pencil grip. Sometimes it's a sensory, the way that they hold their pencil or their paper. Maybe they had cerebral palsy and they need accommodations in typing. And so what I found that those kids that work on handwriting, I had to draw the lines by hand. And I one day had that epiphany. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be something out there. And I'm a scrapbooker. And I came home from a retreat. I actually brought a little thing to show you. So I came home from a retreat with one of these rolling stamps. And it rolls out lines on the scrapbook page. And I said, I just need one of these with my own pattern. And at scrapbooking, it was fleur-de-lis or it was pretty shapes and pretty things. But I just wanted one with line, dash, line, line. That's all I wanted. And so I got this made. It was about $29 and I think it was $10 shipping. So I'm about $40 for one stamp. But it was worth it. I knew exactly what I wanted for. I started carrying it around to all my classrooms and the teachers went crazy. They were like, you have to patent that. That is amazing. I want one of those. Well, nobody wants to pay $40 for a stamp and I couldn't mark it up to 60, right? So that's kind of what started the whole process was I just made one stamp and everybody wanted it. And I had to figure out, okay, how do I now bring this to the market? So that's kind of how I got into the whole entrepreneurship.
Wow. Wow. That is such a unique stamp. I always think as though, could I ever think of something like that? It's like, where do ideas like that come from? Where do you get your inspiration from?
Well, now I shifted from that to try to apply for a patent. And then I had to come up with a prototype. And well, that was my prototype, but I had to come up with something that was affordable. And so I ended up finding these little stamps on Alibaba and I had my own pattern made. And so I was able to take something from this size to this size and much more affordable. And basically, if you have a blank piece of paper and then you roll it out like that, that's all it is. It just makes the lines. And so something like that, like I had to look into plastics manufacturing and rubber manufacturing. And, it really, I knew the problem and I knew the solution to have something smaller. I just didn't know how to get there. And so luckily I stumbled upon a product that I could kind of adjust to meet my own needs. And then as I started carrying these around, Well, actually, I have a funny story to tell you. So
Uh-huh.
before I sent money overseas, my husband said, "Whoa, wait a minute. You don't know if you can trust those people, you know?" And he's like, "You can't just like wire money overseas." And he said, "Tell you what, you have to go get some seed money. Go in one of your Facebook groups, show them what you want to do." And so I made a little fake picture. I had one that had like this little security stamp, and it had like this, it just put right on the paper like that. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Who's interested?" And I within a weekend I sold 100. And so I was like, my husband said, "Okay, well, there's $1,000. You can send that overseas." So that's how it started. And I was able to kind of seed my own money. And then all my ideas come from teachers. Like someone say, "Can you make a music staff?" So I have one that makes a music staff, and it literally just draws out the music lines. And then I had somebody else that said, "Well, can you make one with boxes?" And so there we go. And now we've got one that just boxes. And so when you're practicing handwriting,
Hmm.
sometimes students don't understand this line. And so
Okay.
giving them the little boxes is like one letter per box. And so that's one of the ways that we teach handwriting, is to use an adaptive strategy. So I have 21 different stamps currently.
Mm.
I've got 4 more coming by the end of the year. So we'll have 25 different patterns that help handwriting, music, math, and all sorts of special needs. So it's been really fun, like getting ideas from teachers and bringing that to fruition. And then people love it, they buy it.
Yes, yes. I I love this entrepreneurial community, this entrepreneurial space, and I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I think I ran into your product on ClickFunnels' brand new selling platform, which is Offer Lab. Congratulations on getting your product on there. You mind if we show it?
Sure.
Awesome, awesome. It is, I think you are the perfect example for, the platform of OfferLab. It's the brand new collaborative platform that allows all of us here all of us entrepreneurs to throw our products up there. But I love the pictures that you have. So let's go through it, because you've got a lot of stamps. Maybe as we go through them, you can give us a little bit of info. You like this?
Sure. This is awesome.
Awesome, awesome. This is it. These are your self-inking stamps, and this is the one that I like. I like this device right here. And this one, well, I guess this one here. Go ahead and tell us about this one.
Yeah, so this is a 6-sided stamp. So you get 6 stamps for one price. And so all my stamps start roughly at $15.95 for one. But then if you were to get 2, you're at $30. And if you get 6,
Hmm.
you're at 90. So with this little stamp, it's only $30, but you get handwriting lines, you get fractions,
Let's see
you
here.
get number lines, little pie charts. And
This
what's fun is like you might see, oh, that's a fraction, right?
Yeah, this one here is a dotted thirds line,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and this one is a letter boxes. So I thought I saw you actually demo this one
Uh-huh.
too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So that one has the little dashed line in the middle. But what I
Mhm.
want to show you is the, keep going down. Does it show you the little fraction one?
Okay.
Number line?
Okay, there's the number line.
Yep. Keep going.
Oh wow.
Okay. Now
Okay.
look at this one. So no, nothing on my paper, right? I'm going
Hmm.
to quickly draw it out on the paper like that. But what I can do is teach a student how to do a diagonal letter, like letter Z, by tracing those diagonal little X's. Or like if I'm trying to teach a student the letter X or the letter O, or here's a fun one, letter E, so they can trace that and do letter practice. But again, if you're an older student, then you're going to use this for fractions of 8 and adding different fractions, So there's lots of different uses for one stamp. And we've got all sorts of idea sheets that you can download for free on our website.
Oh, nice, nice. And this is the one that excuse me, is there on Offer Lab. Let's go down and see. All right. Okay. This one too, pie charts.
Yep, that's the one I just showed you.
Okay, yeah, okay. This is the one that helps with the letter Z, okay?
Yep.
All right. All right. Awesome. I love that. Now, I know you put the link down in the comments. That is just you're hopping in first mover on that platform and you can collaborate with other people. I think that's what makes OfferLab such a unique opportunity because other people can add your LegiLiners to their offer stack. It's a
Yeah.
really neat way to collaborate with others to add that as an add-on to whatever product that they might be selling.
So
Yep.
who would be the best collaborators that you would like to partner with then?
Oh gosh. Anybody that has a child that's ages like 5 through 12. So if you're selling t-shirts or mom t-shirts, or you're selling like digital downloads to parents, or courses to parents, that would be a good collaboration. Let's see, I'm trying to think. Like I have a music staff, so if you're teaching online music, if you're teaching music composition, that's an amazing ad for your customers. Anyone that's a teacher, so if you're selling to teachers, or if you know teachers, or if you're doing you know, teachers that have websites, teachers that are influencers, any of those people. Teachers love this. And I would tell you what, this is like a really hot item right now. And so we're
Uh-huh.
back to school, and your customers are going to love it. They go crazy over it. When I have teachers, I do a lot of conventions. I do a lot of in-person sales at like a conference. So I'm at a teacher conference, and they take it back to their school and they show their cohorts, and they put in purchase orders. I mean, I'm getting orders sometimes of like $300-$500 worth of stamps. And
Oh
then I
wow.
sell online as well, where it's just like 2 or 3 stamps to a parent. And that's like, could be anywhere from, my average order is anywhere from like $45 to $90 for the parents and for the onesie twosies. But if someone has any type of a school connection, this is a great opportunity to get into the schools and to be able to sell to multiple classrooms. So teachers don't just need one, they would love the whole set. And there's 21. So if you're selling them for 15 each, what is that? 300 some dollars, right? So it's a good offer. A good
Nice.
way to make commission too. And I believe I put a commission in there for anyone that sells those.
Yes. What's your commission? No,
I don't remember what I put in there, but yeah,
okay, I'm hitting collaborate right now. No.
see what it is. Send me a message.
Oh yeah, and it's interesting because when you go there on OfferLab, there are various offers with writers, courses, and other people that I believe would really make great collaborators with you. I'm excited for you. Congratulations on getting your product up there. And
So I found it. It's 25%. So you make 25% if you can sell a rolling stamp, and that is uh, quite the percentage there, considering it is a retail type product, and I know margins have to be pretty tight on that.
mhm.
So take advantage of it while it is still there.
Well, and one of the reasons why this one I have a lot of margin in, because and I wanted to pass that on to people because I'm just trying to grow. I'm trying to get my name out there. I'm trying to scale. And so that's one way of doing that, is like, if you want to be a proponent of something new and exciting that the teachers love, then that's why I wanted to do that and make that a little bit higher. I think on my other stamps, my percentage might be a little bit lower because there's not as much margin. But that's why I started with this one. I didn't put all 21 on OfferLab. That was a lot of work. but I wanted to try and see if I could get something going. And so that's why it's sitting there. And that's why the percentage is high, because I want people to try it out.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Coming when we talk about entrepreneurship and your journey to where you are today, to from it, you just the idea. And I always believe that everything starts off as an idea, but then there's the planning and the stage to you're launching. Now you're selling inside of funnels. What for all those out there listening that might have that idea or something that they're thinking about, just like you did in that point, what would you say is one of the biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs make when trying to get out of that phase from idea to bring it to market? What advice would you give to someone out there that's on that path right now?
Well, if you think your idea is patentable, I would say get a lawyer and get a good one. I was incorrectly informed about researching and getting a design patent versus a utility patent. I was the first and only person. I had 100% market share. I think I'm down to like 12% on Amazon now.
Really?
I've had some copycats, but they don't have 21 different stamps. And so I'm now positioning myself as the expert in the field. I provide worksheets and lesson plans and things that go with my stamps. So once people come into my world, they stay there. And when they get the knockoffs and they see that it's not as good a quality, then hopefully they come around. And I've got a lot of fans out there that tell other people, you got to buy the original. But my biggest advice is, to take the next best step. If I didn't know how to make a patent. And so I went home and researched that and watched some YouTube videos and filled out the paperwork. And then I was patent pending. And so then it was like, okay, now what? Now I have to come up with a product, and so take the next step, call people, research, find people that have been there before you and that can help you to not make as many mistakes as someone with no experience ends to do. So I had some mistakes, and we have a mastermind now where we're helping other young entrepreneurs that have a product in this pediatric education space. And we're helping them like avoid the mistakes that we made, and we're helping them grow faster, and we're bringing knowledge and information together. So I think if you can add value to what you have and become a business, you don't want to just be a product. Like this is not a business, but the whole picture is a business, and offering memberships, offering downloads, offering trainings and free trainings, and then have a pitch at the end, right? So, that all becomes a business. And collect those emails. Like I was always kind of embarrassed at the beginning to ask people for their email. Like, do you want I don't really have a newsletter, but do you want to be on my email list? And I was, went to several conferences where I just gave out free stuff and hoped for the best. But you have to collect those emails. That is an asset. And that is something that I learned through the ClickFunnels world and through Russell Brunson, that when you have an asset like emails, then that is something that adds value if you're going to sell your business. But if you don't have emails, then you have no way of reaching out to your customers. And social media is great, but when TikTok went down that one day and everybody lost all their followers, then they lost a lot of their business. But if you've got emails, you don't lose that business. If as long as you maintain your list and if you handle it right, then that's where you're going to have your customers, and that's a business asset for you.
Yeah, that's something we preach week in, week out, is the money's in the list. And, along with TikTok, a couple weeks ago, Facebook had a huge snafu when it came to their groups.
Oh, AI groups.
Yeah, a lot of people lost their groups of 20, 30,000 people, and when you lose the groups, you lose the ability to sell, and there you go.
I think you highlighted a couple of philosophies that Russell teaches. You don't have a product, yours is an offer. And that's what gives you the competitive advantage. When all these other copycats showed up, you're not just the LegiLiner or just the the piece alone, but you've got the instruction, you've got the community with it. And I think that's what's, that's offer stacking right there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I learned all that from like Russell. My favorite story is when he said, "I didn't go up to my wife and just say, 'Would you marry me?'" Like he had to prove himself first, right? And so, he has this and that and the other, and takes her out to dinner and wines and dines her, and gets to know her, and that's what I'm really seeing is selling right now,
Yeah.
is developing those relationships with people. Like I can't just throw my stamp out there and get a lot of orders. I need to like contact people. I need to meet people face to face. I need to follow up. And, there's like Brandon said, like people are losing through their funnels is the follow up, and it's hard. And, you need sometimes if you're not good at sales, you need to delegate that, and you need to find someone that is, because that's where the money is getting those sales to close. And then having that offer, it's not just a $15 stamp. It's a $39 course. It's a $199 a year membership. It's, it's a mastermind. You have that offer that all the way up to the top, and make sure you have all the pieces and parts in place.
Yeah. And also when you're deciding and you see all these other copycats out there, you're not trying to compete on price, because we all know that trying to compete on price is a strategy for failure. It'll be a race to the bottom. And that's and you're the perfect example of how to add value. Or even it might even be perceived value, but it could be ways that you can add value, community, additional assistance. I love that. Did you have any questions? I know I have other questions, but I want to, I want to get into your Legacy Maker TV series that's coming up. But before that, I just want to ask you a question okay, this is maybe an unexpected question, but just tell us something that you're doing different in your business now that you learned throughout your journey, that you're doing differently now than what you were doing in the beginning.
One thing that I learned, and I learned this from Rudy Maurer, is to be the CEO. Like I am the CEO of my company. I'm in charge of it. I own it, and I need to act like it. And rather than being like, "Oh, do you want to buy a stamp?" Or, I have when I do a vendor booth, I have a banner with my name and my face on it. It's like, I'm the inventor, like I own it. And then I can't just be like, okay, I need to go do my billing, and I need to send my newsletter, and I need to do my social media. There's too many things for one person to do. And so you need to hire out. And whether that's a virtual assistant, whether it's your husband working for free and doing all your packing and shipping, whether it's your kid that you're making him, package things. I also use some special needs friends, and they help me to package up my little giveaways. Whoever it is, get the help with the things that you don't like, that bog you down from day to day, and do the things that you love. And what I love is teaching. I love sharing my story. I love integrating with other entrepreneurs and helping them to succeed. And I think that those are the fun things, the creativity, the designing new patterns, and, doing the manufacturing. Like I don't manufacture, but like I come up with all the designs, and I have to coordinate all those pieces and parts. And so, yeah, you need to be the CEO, and you need to act like it, and you need to step up to the plate and hire out where you can. And, it's amazing when you start really focusing on what brings you money and what brings your business success, that you'll have the income to be able to pay those people. And so it's been a little bit of a, learning curve for me, is, to step up and delegate out and not do the little nitty gritty every day.
Step up to the plate.
Yep.
Brandon?
That's it. I mean, it's the who, not the how.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That's basically what it comes down to. If there's really no such thing as a business of one. If you're one person, you just got a job doing the work for yourself. I mean, that's really what it comes down
And
to. There's a lot of,
technically, I mean, when you look at it, I'm a business of one, but I've hired out funnel builders. I've hired out teams of people to help me on Amazon. And I've hired agencies. And that's let somebody else that knows and has the expertise. I stumbled through Amazon my first 2 years, and I ended up in Amazon jail. Like you just, you can't do that. So, you have to have someone that has the expertise and shortcut that. And it's going to save you so much time and stress in the long run.
Yeah. And I can understand how you ended up in Amazon jail, because I deal with Amazon, not frequently, but dealt with it enough to know they are a little bit of a pain in the butt. And they take a lot of profit from you. So
they do.
Kudos for you for sticking with it.
Yeah.
But if there was a better platform to sell on and drive your traffic to, I would definitely do that.
Yeah, and we've done some analysis, and it was like they started raising more fees, and they started charging for shipping our FBA supplies, like not just the shipment, but now we have placement fees and distribution fees. And so we were like, all right, we have to like really reevaluate this. And unfortunately, we are still profitable, so we have to stick with it. It's the necessary evil, right? They're the king of all. And the schools tend to buy from Amazon. People trust Amazon. They'll see my ad on Facebook and then go buy it on Amazon. Like they're not buying through my Facebook ads. And so I've been investing a little bit more in my YouTube ads, and those seem to be helping me grow. And so, when I started out, I was Facebook, then I morphed into more Instagram. Now I'm morphing into YouTube. Like it's a growth process, and it's a lot to learn. And hiring those people out has saved me more time and money on the back end than I was willing to invest. And that's what it is. It's an investment in your business.
Mm-hmm. 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 That's interesting. It seems that a lot of people take that route through Amazon. It seems to, they've got the audience. They do have the audience, but you're going to pay for that audience too. And sometimes you might be better having your own funnel. I love that. I love that
for sure. And you can't really upsell on Amazon, and all my competition is right there, but definitely the funnel is the way to go, and having a great upsell and bring them into your world and take them through your value ladder.
But I mean, there are upsells on Amazon, but it's all your competitors' products or products that are somewhat related to what you sell, but nowhere near anything, and you don't get any commission off of it either. So that's kind of terrible.
Yeah, right next to your product, they're putting your competitor's product.
Yeah. Well, my competitor is bidding and outbidding me to get, and so I've gotten a little sly though. I've learned like I can specifically advertise on their ASIN, one of my bundles. And so their teacher might be looking at their one stamp, but then they might see a bundle of 3 or 4 of my stamps. It's like, well, I'd rather get this whole system, and that's just one of my small techniques to try to combat all the competition.
Smart.
Nice. And that one piece looks great. I love that roller that has all of them and built in one. And before we get too late here, tell us about this TV series that you are going to be a part of. Have you recorded it already? How did you get this opportunity? And what is it? How can we watch it?
Yeah. So, let's see. Your first question was, what is it? So Legacy Makers is a TV show that is on a streaming platform called Inside Success TV. And there were, at the time I applied, there were over 14,000 applicants, and they had 7,000 interviews. And mine was one of the ones that rose to the top, and they offered me a spot on the show. I think there's going to be about 200 episodes. There's different seasons. And so mine is under the product season. And then there's women in power, and there's change makers, and there's all sorts of different seasons. Each season, I don't know if it has maybe 15 episodes, I believe. So and then it's going to be streaming on Fire TV, Roku TV, and let's see, what was the other one? Apple, Fire, and Roku for sure. So those three. And then if my episode is one of the top whatever episodes, then it has a potential to be on either YouTube TV and or Amazon Prime. So yeah, it's super exciting. They loved my story. I have a lot of special needs background, and I work with special needs individuals, and the stamps are changing teachers' lives. I'll work at a convention and I'll have teachers come up to me, and some of the ones will just walk by and be like, I love my LegiLiners. And I'll say, which ones do you have? Look, come see, we have more, or it'll be someone will come up to me and just, I have to talk to you. Like, you changed the life of my son. He had dyslexia and he was struggling, and we tried this stamp and it was so motivating for him, and he practiced and he was able to change his handwriting, and it's just stories like that that really warm my heart, and know that the teachers are just having an easier time. Like, let me give you some lines, and the kids are practicing better and able to replicate their handwriting better. And I had this one student, his name was Court, and he was really embarrassed by his handwriting. Got to the end of third grade. His mom had been trying to get him some handwriting help, and the teachers were saying, oh, don't worry about it. It'll get better. He'll start typing soon. He's just a boy. And then she had heard from a therapist that handwriting is ingrained by third grade. And so now this boy's going to fourth grade. He's got terrible handwriting, and she really didn't know what to do. And so she came to me and we talked about it. We talked with Court, and I got him involved in using the LegiLiners, and him involved in his own program and how he could improve. And that fall, when he went back to school, he was so excited for his mom to go at curriculum night and see his handwriting. And he was like, Mom, you have to see how good my handwriting was. And just the self-awareness and the self-esteem that he had, because now he didn't have the worst handwriting in the class, and he could see how it was improved. And the teachers were like, oh my gosh, your handwriting, I can read it so much better. And there's been studies that show that a student that has poor handwriting and wrote an essay, and then another student that had the exact same words on that essay in neat handwriting, and it was blind studied, was graded. Consistently, the student with sloppy handwriting got a lesser grade, even though the words were exactly the same. And so it really has to do with other people's perception of you. And, we want to help improve kids' self-esteem, and we want to help them do better in school. And they might be really, really smart, but they don't think they're smart because their handwriting's crappy. But if we can improve their handwriting, then they get that confidence, their grades are better. They see that that all matches up, might be really good in math, but if you're not lining up your numbers, and if your numbers are sloppy, you're going to get the wrong answer. So we're just helping to change lives across the country and the world. And it's been really great. I'm in Australia, I'm in UK, I'm in Germany, I'm in France. I've got stamps all over the world. I'm in Canada. They're mad at us right now.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's been great to travel across the country and hear the stories.
That's amazing. You know what? I thought that the schools weren't even teaching handwriting anymore. Not like when I grew up. I grew up writing in cursive.
Yep. Well, and it's funny you should say that. I think we're at 13 states now are mandating teaching cursive again. So and then the other states, in fact, Georgia's one of them. You have to not only, there's a standard for not only writing in cursive, but reading cursive. And so I don't know that it's like coming back, but it's definitely, we always have taught handwriting, kindergarten, first grade, we're always teaching handwriting, but the cursive is definitely on the rise. And I think a lot of people see the importance of it. What's interesting, you may not know this, cursive, because the letters connect, there's a right and left brain connection. Printing is just one-sided. and it doesn't require you to cross the brain waves across the right and left side of the brain. So cursive can actually improve reading and the fluency with writing and their fluency with speaking, because it's a fluent stroke. When you're writing in cursive, it connects the left brain and the right brain, and that helps kids to improve their schoolwork.
Yeah, and with the most important historical documents of our nation written in cursive, we need to be able to read it
Yes.
and transcribe as necessary. So I'm glad Ohio has mandated it. I think third grade they got to teach cursive, or maybe second
Yeah.
grade. So
Yeah, a lot of schools maybe teach it as like a short unit, but now it's being mandated. So I need to look that up and see how many states we're up to now, but that's definitely on the rise.
Nice, nice. You're doing some amazing work out there, and I love it. I think that's what it's always about. Even, we're entrepreneurs and we love to make money, but we love to make products, but it's really about the impact, the lives that we're impacting lives. And
Mhm.
just think about, you're impacting that child, you're impacting that child's child, you're impacting all those around that. It's just, you serve more, you give more. It's just so rewarding. I'm glad that you somehow found the ClickFunnels community.
Yeah. It's been great.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, I guess we're gonna wrap it up here. Before we leave, we got you know, leave the audience out there with a nugget for them to for them, your secret to success. I think I told you. we
I don't know that I'm there yet.
What do you mean
Oh,
you're not there yet? I mean, you've got a successful product. You've gone through a couple years of trial and error. You've had some failures. You've had some success. You have some experience, and 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 now you've got your product on Offer Lab. That's awesome in itself, right there. Just think of how much exposure you'll get there, and the opportunity to collaborate with, who knows, thousands more entrepreneurs
yeah.
that will put your LegiLiner in the hands of 1,000 more teachers, students, children's. Uh,
That'd be great.
yeah, when you step back
Yeah.
and look at it, it's really a great success.
Yeah. And, I mean, I jokingly say that, everyone measures success differently. I've got high aspirations, but I do often take the time to look back at what how far I've come. And, there's a book called The Gap and the Gain. And, it's that thing. It's like, I've gained a lot. I still have a ways that I desire to go. And I am focusing this year so hard. I've given up a lot of extracurricular things. I'm really focusing on growing my business, and um, you know, there's this balance. You still need to have your work life balance. You still need life, but there's a lot of opportunities when you're having life is to share your business and let other people know. And just, you never know when one little interaction with somebody is going to produce like a huge order or a fan or another connection to something else. And so, just always be open to sharing and telling people about, don't flower coat it. Like, don't always be like, oh, this is roses and beautiful, talk about the hard stuff too. But it's, I think you'd be surprised at like just how God comes into your life, and he will insert the right people at the right time. And, funny little story with that was
Mhm.
something had ended up, there was a product that I almost purchased that I bailed last minute because the quality was horrible.
Mhm.
And it ended up in the dollar spot at Target. And I could have looked at that as a huge loss. But what I found was because it fell apart so fast that people then looked for rolling ink stamp and found my product. So I was in all the Targets, and it might have been in the dollar store, or I wasn't, but like a stamp was. And then that got me a ton of exposure. So don't worry about those setbacks. That there's a reason for that. Maybe you're not ready for the success yet. Maybe you're not ready for that growth yet. And so I've just always been very open to the people that come into my life, the people that I cross paths with, and always look at, there's potential for opportunity everywhere.
Nice. I take from that is, I think some people are, they won't be loud. I'll say be loud, or they won't actually let people know about what they have to offer because of maybe a little bit of fear. Like, just like you said, you had a failure at one time, and it might make you a little bit cautious, but it actually turned out to be a win for you. That's
Yes.
it. Yep. Even those small setbacks that may seem like it at the time, but those could be your setbacks that are setting you up for a comeback. Did I say
Yeah.
that? Is that my rhyme right there?
Make it a little song.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. We've got some people out in the comments, but thanks for tuning in to this week's show. You had any more questions, Brandon? You have
I think I think kind of covered a lot there. Paul and I had a podcast episode a couple weeks back. Check that out on Spotify, Business Growth Accelerator. We went into a little bit more depth of the business itself. So BGA on Spotify there, and take a listen. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, and people can find me on Instagram at LegiLiner. They can find me on YouTube on LegiLiner. Facebook is Legi-Liner. I also have the LegiLiner community for handwriting help. I'm on TikTok, so follow me, like whatever you see, and help me get the word out there. Share something that, hey, I heard this cool podcast, and look at this cool stamp, and share it with an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, somebody that might need a stamp, and I'll appreciate it. I think that's awesome that we can always help each other out.
Yes. And if you're on Offer Lab, she's easy to find, LegiLiner. And also, you can check Brandon out. He's there on the Offer Lab as well. And you can check out my offers on Offer Lab as well. It's the platform that's going to change the way we sell forever. You excited about that?
For
Super.
sure. Yeah.
Yes, with the new launch coming up. But thanks for tuning in this week, everyone. Until next week, we will see you next week. Take care, everyone.